Welcome to Taiju's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you Tsumago and Magome-Juku. So as you can see, I'm back in Japan. I'm at Nagiso Station, a small village in Nagano Prefecture. The reason why I came here is to walk the Nakasendo. It literally translates to pathway through the mountains. This Nakasendo was a pathway that was used during the Edo period, traveling from Edo to Kyoto. And within this Nakasendo, there are several villages still preserved at this time. I really enjoy walking this pathway because it shows the traditional pathway and shows how it was during that time. And so I hope you enjoy it as well. And here's a little passage that I took to come to this Nagiso station. By the way, how to get to Nagiso Station takes about 2.5 to 3 hours from Tokyo, or 2 hours from Osaka, or like in my case, 1 hour from Nagoya Station. To get to Tsumago-Juku, you could also take a bus, which takes about 20 minutes. And without further ado, let's get started. If you decide to walk from Nagiso Station to Tsumago-Juku, it's about 1 hour to 1.5 hours. You just need to follow these signs. On the entrance of the pathway, you'll find this old steam locomotive. You will first walk through these residential area. These Shinto shrines you can find pretty much everywhere in Japan. I threw in some money and pray for the safe trip. As you walk through the pathway, the scenery would change from countryside to path through the woods and mountains. This is exactly the same pathway people took during the Edo period, about 200 to 300 years ago. By the way, the name Tsumago-Juku or Magome-Juku, Tsumago and Magome are the name of the places, and Juku means hostels or inns. So it's a town or village of hostels where people stayed when they walked through the Nakasendo pathway. Before entering Tsumago-Juku, there's a small showcase of old Japanese home. Here you can find traditional fireplace called irori, where they hang the pot from above and cook over the fire. In the back is probably a traditional bedroom and with Japanese style drawers. It isn't really a big sign, but from here we enter the Tsumago-Juku. Many of the buildings along the main street are hotels and inns. We also find many of these water mills in Tsumago, where people used to mill wheat or buckwheat, and for that reason the region is also famous for soba noodles. This area is also famous for wood crafts because it's surrounded by mountains. Here they have a variety of wood bento boxes and rice or soup bowls. 洗濯板って今買う人いるんですか？あ、そうなんですか？ああ、自分でちょっと？ああ、はいはいはい。へえ。あ、なるほど。そうなんですね。ありがとうございます。あ、まだ何時からですか？10時過ぎ。あ、はい、OK です。ありがとうございます。 Here's an old border control called Sekisho, where they used to control the trading goods and also guns entering Edo, which was strictly prohibited to ensure the security of the capital. Now this is used as a museum to show how it looked during the Edo period, but unfortunately it wasn't allowed to film inside, so I don't have a clip for that.
ちは五平餅はい1本あ大丈夫です
I was getting a bit hungry, so I decided to get a local snack called gohemochi, which is made of grilled rice balls with sauce.
美味しいですね中に何入ってますかはいあ海トマトは様でした。
Here's another store selling woodcraft products. Also wooden bento boxes, wooden bowls and cups. Here they also have wooden utensils, spoons, chopsticks, and even wooden forks. Now we exit Tsumago-Juku. It's actually quite not that big, no more than about a kilometer in length. This is a typical Japanese river, very fast. The water is usually much more clear, but unfortunately it rained the day before, so it's rather cloudy. In many places, especially in the countryside, we have these so-called ojizo-sama, some kind of Buddhist figures, protecting the safety of the travelers and also the region. Since it is a Buddhist figure, we don't clap our hands when we pray. This is a very typical scenery of Japanese countryside. Rice fields surrounded by mountains. So beautiful. These signs are found pretty much everywhere along the path, so there's no need to worry about getting lost. I was actually quite lucky to encounter this snake. If I'm not mistaken, this is Aodaisho, a common harmless snake in Japan. In Japanese culture, snake is considered as a sacred or divine figure, often as a messenger from the gods, or sometimes they're the god themselves. So it's very lucky to be able to see a snake in the mountains. On the pathway between Tsumago-Juku and Magome-Juku, there's a pair of waterfalls. The first one is called Odaki, meaning male waterfall. It is wider and has kind of a masculine feature. The second waterfall is called Meidaki, meaning female waterfall. Compared to Odaki, it is slim and has a little more sensitive looks to it. In the mountains in Japan, there are some bears. They're actually scared of the humans, and so they usually do not come near the man-made pathways. But to avoid them, there are many of these metal bells along the way, since supposedly the bears do not like these kind of metal sounds. If you go in the countryside in Japan, there's so many places where the nature is still very well preserved, and there are lots of beautiful walking paths like this. So if you ever come to Japan, I suggest not only to check out the cities or touristic places, but also spend some time in the nature, in the mountains. Right before arriving to Magome-Juku, there's a beautiful viewpoint where you can see all the mountains surrounding the valley of Magome town. Now we enter Magome-Juku, another hotel town of Nakasendo. It has a slightly different feeling than the Tsumago-Juku. To my opinion, it is more touristy and has more stores selling souvenirs and also more restaurants. But for that reason, more people and therefore a bit busier and louder. This store has a lot more wooden products. In the front, cutting boards and sushi bowls. Here more sushi bowls and utensils, trays. On the other side, sushi trays, bento boxes, more utensils. These are Japanese hair combs. Also some cups. Here are all Japanese wooden sandals for women to match with kimono. More bowls, wooden shoe horns. These are used taking baths. Small chair and small tops to scoop water. On the tops are wooden steamers. And here on the bottom they have bowls for making soba or udon noodles. And here they have Japanese style wooden drawers. And this store is more for tourists. They have many variety of things. Here they have horses made of straw, some dolls, some wooden trays, and some ceramics as well. Here are more wooden or bamboo products. And on the other side, more wooden utensils, and also some more bowls and cups. There's also a large watermill for making buckwheat flour for soba noodles. And it was getting lunchtime, so I got to the soba noodle restaurant.
Torero-soba.
とろろそばでかしこまりました。サラダそばでございます。どうぞ。
I decided to get Torero-soba, which is soba noodle with ground tororo in the sauce. Tororo is a Japanese yam, both of tororo and soba being famous for this region. Please excuse me for slurping sound. This is how we eat the noodles in Japan. In the soba restaurant, it is very common to be served with what's called sobayu at the end, which is the boiling water of soba. Since the main nutrient of buckwheat is a type of polyphenol called rutin, and this is water soluble, so drinking the boiling water of soba noodle makes sense, and it's also just tasty to drink. So if you ever have a chance to go to soba restaurant in Japan, please try out this soba-yu as well. On the way back, I took a bus to Nakatsugawa Station. You can also walk this path, which takes another 2 to 3 hours. And so this is the end of my trip to Nakasendo. Thank you so very much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next video. Bye for now.